Good evening, guys, and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. Whew. The last 4 days have been kind of full of craziness, but we have made it to Tuesday. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. I had to get my live stream room all put back together because I had it all tore up to take it to the 6-hour race in Michigan. So hopefully everyone is doing well. Happy Tuesday. It's me, Marty Ford, and I am here to chat about slot cars. So got some changes, added a couple of my cameras from the weekend. So let's see, we've got a wide shot of the track, and I got the scoreboard up there. And then I've got this shot of the track, which I think is pretty cool. It should look pretty cool with some cars going around the track. So, yeah, anyway. So, how's everybody this evening? Why am I not seeing the comments and reactions? So, somebody text me, let me know you actually see me live. Oh, shoot. Now I know what happened. All right, guys, we'll do this again. Welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I was live streaming to a private stream. It was no wonder there was nobody out there. It didn't publish. So I started the live stream and it wasn't published out there live on YouTube. So we are back. Welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. It is. All right. Now, wow. So hopefully we have some people tuning in. Hey, Ian. Shotgun Dave. For some reason, when I went live, it was not public. It was private. Probably because I was doing all that testing before I left and I didn't notice it. So that's why you didn't get a notice that there was a live. That's why there was no chat early on. But people are finding it now. So, hey, Shotgun Dave, welcome. Hey, Ian. Just hopefully there was a few more people in when I did this. But Ian, thanks for joining tonight. Congratulations on the double over the weekend. The NSR Canadian race. Ian Douglas took the top spot in both Saturday and Sunday. Congratulations, Ian. Hope you had a great weekend. And you posted some videos. I appreciate the updates. It was a great weekend. There were so many live streams going on over the weekend. We were live at the 6-hour Michigan race, the Scale Auto race. We were live. Motown was live. You guys were in Canada. Ray Lego had his race. I saw quite a few live streams going on of races all over the place. So I guess I don't know how to live stream. That was a very misleading, Greg, I can see you now. John Mark says, I gotcha. Hey, Rob. Hello, trigger pullers. I just figured you were tired from all the live streaming and took a night off. No, Dave. I'd been testing a private stream here and I didn't make the change. And when it posted it privately, not publicly. So nobody got the notice. So we probably have half as many people. People think I'm probably not going live tonight. So anyway, so it's sat there all evening, not posted. So kind of like how this weekend went. Lots of mistakes, but we're going to survive them. Hey, Wayne, thanks for joining. If only somebody knew how to make videos, stream videos. Yep. Hey, Trevor, 1:04 a.m. here in the UK. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Glad you're here. Hey, John, sorry. Didn't mean to worry you. I was getting ready to send you a text. I saw your message, but I'd figured out what had happened by the time. Yep. Congrats, Ian. Yeah. Thanks, man. Ian. Yep. We're proud of you. Way to rep the U.S. You got to race some good guys. I know Rob's fast. I watch his videos, and I know he does a great job with his content on YouTube. He has a beautiful track at home, but he's very fast. Looks like Todd had good races too, qualified well. So yeah, it might be cool to have you guys come on and talk about that if you're up for it sometime. Let's see who else we have. Hey, Harry, welcome. Hey, Chris. Thanks. I had to take it from America. That's right. It is still not showing on my TV. Huh. Sorry about that, Daryl. It's probably because I posted late. And I just went in and changed the setting from private to public. Well done, Ian. That's right. Hey, Hub. Shane, how are you, man? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Roger. Good evening. The Fingers is in the house. Greg is leading the chat. See, I use Ecamm Live and I can't see that. That's something they're going to need to add so that I can keep track of who the top chatters are. I guess I could bring up on another screen in a window, who is leading. There we go. Chris is number 3. John Albright. No, who's number 2? John Mark Hall is number 2. Pay the fee, Daryl. It's pay-per-view. That's right. So it was a crazy weekend. Hey, filthy little slots. Had a panic attack. Yep. Couldn't find the link. Sorry about that. People are starting to find us. TD of 2 lines chat now. There you go. Hey, Hank. DeFingers, it's not YouTube's fault. It's this guy's fault. He doesn't know how to live stream. He probably shouldn't post videos about how to live stream slot car races. Yep, both classes. Fantastic win. Hey, John Tucci. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. HSF, thanks for being here. DW Barker. Hey, Ron. That's what I thought. Surprise. Hey, Nick. Yeah, sorry, it's my fault. Lucifer, welcome. Hey, Greg. Hope everything is good down in Florida. The quality of humans and racing in Canada is incredible. It was everything I could have hoped for. Man, Ian, that makes me happy, dude. That makes me happy. I honestly, I pray that you'd have a great experience. I just wanted that for you. So good job. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Dave. Thanks for tuning in. Patrick, what's up? Thanks for joining. Yep, congratulations, Ian. Yeah, the invite to one of our races is open. Yeah, it would be awesome to get you guys out here in the East. Hey, Steve Howie. Great weekend, man. Yep, that's right. Way to go. Steve had great races. I was kind of crunching the numbers today from lap counts, and it was kind of cool to see what kind of laps everybody ran and how we competed. So it was good. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So just wanted to give everybody a shout out. Steve W. Good evening. Steve Halsman. TD Slot Sports. Steve. Hey Steve, thanks for the messages this morning. I appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. Cool to watch the Canadian SR champs. Way cool track. Looked very challenging, except for Ian. Ian makes every track look easy. I mean, come on. Yeah. Congratulations to all the racers this weekend. There was just so much going on in the slot car world from a racing standpoint, and from other. I mean, there was just everything going on, but there were a lot of races being, live streamed this weekend, and that was really pretty cool. Hey, Patrick. Toju. Metal. Hey, Todd. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Dust. What's up, dude? Kurt. Hey, Team Grizzly. Velocity. Other things. Yep. Great weekend. I am for quality, not quantity on my posts. What's up, Kurt? Kurt is fast. That dude can drive a slot car, I'm telling you. Hey, Ben. Ben, I sent you another message. I don't know if you got it. I haven't checked my email this afternoon. I've been busy at work. But Ben was on the cave, and we had a crazy good battle with that team. Well done, guys. They podiumed with us. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Again, I have some new camera angles I'm working with here for the live stream. I tested some cameras out this past weekend. I talked about them. The OBSBots, the Tiny 2 Lite is a great 4K for a reasonable price, about $180. And it worked great. But then I got one of the SEs, which is the 1080p version. And I'm telling you, the quality is great. I'm streaming at 1080p, so I don't have to have a 4K. But check these out. There's a camera shot, the wide shot of the track, and then there's the kind of close up coming down that back stretch into that tight right hander. So that's gonna be fun, I think. But this could be changing. This could be. Got some announcements to talk about tonight. So yeah. So Ben, great job. Congratulations. You guys did fantastic. Daryl, are you ready? But thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. What else? Highway slots. Man, we got a lot of people. Don Young, Craig, Steve Sweeney. Yeah, guys. Do you race 32 or 124 scale? Trevor, I race both, but my 124 scale stuff is really scratch build cars. I don't run wing cars or anything, or Carrera digital 124. But mostly 98% of the time we race 132nd scale. Yeah. Congratulations to Ian on the win. Good stuff. Ian's getting a lot of love in the chat. Hi, Marty. Awesome coverage and great commentary and interviews. Highway, thanks, man. I really appreciate that feedback. It was a busy weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about it. At 8:30, I'm bringing in the winning team for a few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. I don't want to keep them the whole night, but I want to celebrate them. The live stream. So we were in Michigan, Saline, Michigan, at Professor Motor Warehouse, which is just fantastic. Shout out to Oliver and Oliver's mom, who was there the whole time. She really took great care of us racers. Hey, Dojo. She kept us fed and kept food and snacks on the table, and helped people buy stuff because we were at the warehouse, and it was amazing. But they did an awesome job putting that venue together. And Mike Stott from Cloverleaf Racing. Mike, I just want you to know, if you watch this, there's your Cloverleaf sign, man. There you go. I promised you that you would see it in the backdrop. Ooh, what's this? What's that? What is that? Oh yeah, that's the poster from the Scale Auto event. How cool is that? Very cool. But what a great weekend. We got there. We drove up Thursday night. There was a bunch of us that stayed in an Airbnb together. Kind of our race program here in Southern Ohio and Northern Kentucky and New York, and we're kind of in Michigan. We kind of teamed up with some guys and prepared for this race. We actually had 3 teams. We're going to bring those guys in next week to talk about the overall weekend and the preparation beforehand and everything that went into building some really good cars that were highly competitive for the weekend. And I will tell you, the highlight for the weekend was just hanging out with these guys back at the house and grabbing dinner after practice on Friday and then after the race on Saturday. It just doesn't get any better than that. But Scale Auto 6-hour Michigan 2025 race, sponsored by Cloverleaf Racing, Professor Motor, and Quick Slicks. It's a Scale Auto event. Ivan was there. It was fantastic to get to meet Ivan. If he ever tunes in, shout out to him. I did an interview with him in my live stream. I'm going to go cut that out sometime this week and get it out there posted so people can hear that interview. It'll have some race footage over top of it for the most part. He wasn't on camera the whole time, but great interview. Talked a lot about the history of Scale Auto. He talked a lot about what was coming from them and what they were excited about. And it was just really cool to have a moment. Fantastic guy, and he was fast on the track. So that was a lot of fun. Hey, Brandon. Welcome. Hey, Chris. Pistol Pete. I'm just running through, making sure I say hey to everybody. Hey, Jim. You're not that late to the party. I was late posting it. But so we got there early Friday morning after grabbing some breakfast with the guys, and I started setting up the live stream. Took me a couple hours to get everything situated the way I wanted. I felt like the camera angles were decent. I thought the audio was good. But I had some hiccups on race day. I've created a checklist, so the next time, hopefully, I can prevent some of those. When I kicked off the live stream on Saturday, something had come unplugged and my soundboard, and so I was using the microphone on the MacBook, and I didn't know it, and so the audio was a little loud and out of control for a few minutes until I figured that out. But that was before racing started. That was about an hour before. But we figured it out thanks to the guys in the chat. So that was really good. But Friday we got there. Track was prepped and pretty much ready to go. We about, 10:15, 10:30, we started practicing, and then about noon, I think I started a live stream just to test to make sure that the bandwidth was going to be good for the race and give us some time to make other arrangements if the internet was going to be good enough. And we were able to stream at a high quality, and I think we had some great footage of the track and from a few different vantage points. And so yeah, that was fun. So we got a good day of practice in and grabbed dinner Friday night, and then we were back at it. I went live 9 a.m. Eastern, and I will tell you, it was a little over 10 hours, almost 11 hours of live streaming, and my mind was mush by the end, trying to manage the live stream, interview people, try to create something that was interesting for you guys that were in the chat. And I will tell you, all day long, we had 40 plus watching the stream the entire day, from start to finish. you know, it went up from there. But I was super impressed with how many people we had, you know, watching the stream. It was amazing. So I appreciate that. All of you who tuned in at some point, in and out throughout the day. It really meant a lot that you watched the coverage and supported the hobby by watching the stream and supported me. It meant a lot. But we tried to bring you some good coverage, something that you would enjoy, something that was entertaining. Got a chance to talk to some of the drivers. A lot of people were not comfortable jumping on camera or jumping on the mic, but we tracked down a few people. And then we got to the end of the race. We'll probably talk more about that when we bring TD Slot Sport in. But you know, my team, the Velocity Slots, with Greg and Daniel and Steve and Rob and myself, having to do double duty was pretty stressful. And I just wanted to keep it in the slot and not disappoint my team. And we've ended up on the podium. We finished second. Really proud of that. And then the Cave finished third, but we got them by 4 laps. That's how tight the racing was. And then I think another 22 laps to the other favorites. And then Can-Am, and there were 4 or 5 teams right there, within, you know, less than 75 laps from each other, which was pretty impressive. High quality action, high quality racing. But what was fun about the whole day was everyone really had a good time. There's a lot of laughter and, you know, some cheering for lots of people, and that was fun to see. Mike from Cloverleaf and Oliver from Professor Motor did an awesome job organizing the event and keeping it up and running, and keeping it on a good schedule. Once we got about into the second heat, things really, we got pretty smooth about the third heat, and we just started clicking out. You know, we had 30 heats to get through, and we did 15-minute stints. 10 teams rotated between 8 lanes on the track, so that gives us 6 hours. So a lot of people had that question. We tried to answer those questions. I tried to interact with the chat as much as I possibly could. I felt like that was important to the coverage, and that it would help give me some content to, you know, some things to add. Dusty says, great weekend up in Michigan for the Scale Auto. Yeah, man, it was fun. Is the club circuit based on a real track or just a random layout? This is just a random layout. It's not based on any track. The Scale Auto event wasn't based on anything either. Hey, James, go Reds. The whole team's battling out in Cincinnati. Yeah, we had a good showing. Hey, Mike G, welcome. Who brought the slot cars in the suitcase? What slot cars in the suitcase? Hey, Colt, your sign is on its way, buddy. Hopefully you get it in the next day or two. Let's see. Hey, Ernest, good to have you. Hillbilly, I had family in Saturday, but I popped in and out. Yep, I saw you in and out. Appreciate it. Thanks. Hey, B-Rads. It was a great race all in all. Very competitive and well run. I know that it was probably a lot of work for Oliver, but the venue was fantastic. It really worked out great being at Professor Motor. It's crazy to think that I walked out of there without buying anything off the shelf. But I will share that I won this, which is pretty cool. I will say that the prizes for the winners, for the podium, everybody, I mean, every team got something. And I thought that was awesome. But man, this was second place. So I got me a Scale Auto Pro, the Cadillac, cool livery, but it probably will never see the track because this is kind of a trophy. But I always say there's no shelf queens, but we'll see. What else? We wrapped up probably, I forget what time the race was over. 9, 10 hours. It's around 8 o'clock, I think. We made it to Black Rock by 9:30, I think. Ben says he's working on the guys. Let you know tomorrow. Awesome, Ben. It's easy, I promise. You just click a link, and it brings you in just like a Zoom call. Not anything complicated, but great coverage if you ask me, live streaming and racing. The plate was full. Yeah, thanks, John. It was definitely full. For sure. For sure. But hey, Salty, thanks for joining. Good to have you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Patrick. It was fun to watch. Maybe next time you could do it in an English accent. I know that might be more entertaining. But you know, I made a bunch of mistakes. I have lots of notes that I kept throughout the day. As I got deeper into the coverage, man, I was exhausted. I probably looked like it. That's why I wasn't on camera very much, because I was tired. But you know, we got to the end, and I didn't get a chance to interview the guys who won the event. They were so focused on the event, and then we were, you know, the trophy ceremony, and there's some things that I would do different if I had a chance to do it. We'll do better next time. We'll learn, and we'll have better coverage, and maybe pick up another camera or two. That complicates my setup. My setup was fairly easy using the webcams. If I get too many more cameras, I'm gonna have to go a different route, which will get pretty expensive and be a little less portable. But I appreciate that, Patrick. Thanks. Let's see. Question. Why is it still in the box? See, you're right. No shelf queens. I should open that thing up. Maybe we'll open up tonight. We'll see. Professor Motor was also sponsoring Motown. I got some parts from them. Great people. B-Rads, yes. Awesome. Oliver was fantastic. Did a great job. You and Joe both designated your cars as shelf queens. Huh. Waiting for the red and white Porsche hypercar. Yeah, Rick, congrats on a good race from you down at Ray Lego's race. It's awesome. Alan, that's a shelf king. Keep it sealed. Nice job to all you guys. Thanks, Alan. It was a good time. So, Filthy, yeah, I think I'm going to recruit some help for the next one. And I think that I'm probably not going to race for the Nationals. If the live stream is like the important piece, I'll sacrifice the racing to make sure that the coverage is good. So I haven't totally made that decision yet, but that's probably where I'm going to land. Just because I feel like the high quality coverage is probably worth it for everyone. So we'll see. Just got a little bit of time. That's great. It got shipped out as soon as I got back. So, which would have been yesterday. So yeah, you should see it. You should see it before, probably Thursday. I can check the tracking. Nick, thanks, man. That means a lot. But it's 8:30. We're gonna bring the guys on if they start coming in to the chat. So if you guys want to come on, we'll congratulate the team. Hey, Jeff, watched the stream over a few days. Thought you did a really good job. Looking forward to seeing more races that you cover. Thanks, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Hey, Bill. I'll let. Oh, hey, there's Joe.
Hi, Marty.
Welcome, Joe. Good, man. You'll want to mute the YouTube so you don't.
Yeah, I got to mute YouTube.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, so you don't have to deal with the echo. So Joe Nicola is from New York. He was on Total Domination Slot Sport. What a great name! And they totally dominated from start to finish. I think when the final lap count hit, it was 102 laps. You were ahead of us. So you guys really crushed it. So congrats, man. It's awesome.
Thanks.
I don't know where everybody else is at. You're the only one in.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm early.
No, you're not. It's 8:30.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out how to adjust the. There we go. I think we're good.
Kurt, you don't run trophy cars, Marty. Get used to it. Thanks, Kurt. I think the Nationals may be a little easier for you to stream and race. Maybe, Dusty. We'll see, but I don't know. It was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And then the one thing that made it tough was like getting people lined up for interviews and like going out and scouting out before and meeting all the drivers so that I recognize and know all of their names and the team lists of who all was on the teams. Daniel bailed me out and went around and got all the names for everybody, so that we had the team names and then who was on it, so I could at least talk intelligently throughout the race, about some of the teams. Jim, have to watch the replay. Was a bit busy myself, and thanks Oliver for great prizes at Motown. Yeah, I watched some of the Motown live stream today, Jim. So, and here's Steve. We'll bring Steve on as soon as he is. Hey, Steve, welcome. I'm going to bring you in here. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Yeah, make sure that your YouTube stream's muted or it's quiet so it doesn't echo.
Hold on, let me go turn it. It's in the other room, so
yeah. He's been on here. He's been on here a few times. You'd think he'd learned this by now. Yeah, Jim. Thanks. I'd love to get your feedback. Come out to Electric Dreams and race NSR West. Rick, they're back-to-back weekends, and that makes it kind of tough. But it would be awesome to get out there, but I don't stand a chance out there. So, what else? Joe is slot car. Big pun.
Okay, that was actually pretty good.
Trophy cars runs better straight out of the box. Steve, welcome, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations to the TD Slot Sport. Great showing. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Joe and I were talking right before you jumped on. Like, I think you guys won by 102 laps. So that was pretty much domination all day long.
It was. I'll tell you what, it was. We put Greg called me before this event and he was like, "Hey, don't tell anybody, but I want first, second, and third in this event with our teams." And I was like, that's a tall order. So we almost got it, but it was a fantastic time. And honestly, just being with all the guys, endurance racing is just a special opportunity to experience slot car racing with some amazing people. So I love it. I love the sharing the Airbnb together and being able to go out to dinner together and all the stuff that really matters, because in the end it's the guys that really matter.
Yeah, of course. That was my favorite part of the weekend. It was a blast racing. It was a blast, covering with the live stream, but sitting there at dinner just talking about slot cars and everything else, it was just that made it special. It was a lot of fun.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of R&D that went into the to building the cars and trying to figure out how to put tires that are typically we race on a NSR vintage car on one of the most powerful torquey engines that is in the market, and not only that, but those hypercars are big cars,
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how to put the power down to that track and make the car handle so everybody can race the car. It's not just me racing the car. It's all the guys on the team, and you know, and back to the guys on the team, Kurt is an amazing driver. He's a 3-time national champion. And Joe is an amazing driver. He's a 24-hour of Michigan racer and always tells me, hey, you put a good car in my hand and I'll win. And I think we got a really good car in his hand, and this was his first win. So, and he's a national champion on top of that because of this race. So congratulations, Joe. And Andy, who grew up in slot car racing. His dad owned a bunch of slot car tracks, and he's an amazing guy. And I think all of us really made a great event. Yeah.
Yeah. We're all going to jump on here next week. All of the teams, because what people I don't think really realized is Greg decided a while back that he wanted to put 2 or 3 teams together. One, I think, as a tool to develop some more guys to fill in at the Michigan 24, right? To get guys some more experience with endurance racing, and we'll probably next week we'll jump into the difference between endurance racing and sprint racing, and the mindset is completely different, and managing a car and protecting a car and all of that. That'll be fun to talk about next week with all of us. I don't know how we'll get 13 people on the screen, but we'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. But Greg saw this vision of we've almost put together this big race team from an R&D standpoint, and let's build some cars together. Let's encourage each other. Let's put some teams together. And he kind of split the teams up, and I think that from the beginning I looked at your team and it was like, holy cow, these guys are stacked. Great. It's just a great lineup of people. And I've raced with Joe last year at the Nationals, and I knew you put a good car in his hand, and I knew Steve, you would build a great car. But we race with Andy all the time, and we've raced with Kurt a handful of times, and just knowing how quick all of you guys are, we knew it was going to be a tall order for the rest of us to keep up. And it was, but I think the cool thing is it was motivating for all of us to kind of put our A games out there, because we knew we were going to have to be our best just to stay in the room. And I mean, I feel like we did, all of us. And we really put some great teams out there. The other favorites, they had a car they struggled with, all through the last segment, segment and a half, and that they limped that car home to 4th place. And if it would have had a few issues, who knows where they would have ended up, right? So I'm pretty proud of all those guys and how we put that together. But talk a little bit about that, Steve.
Absolutely. No, I think they had a great car. I think your all's team already had a great car.
Oh yeah.
I tested it at my track. Greg let me sent it down to me, and I tested it, put it on the track, and I was like, this is a good car. Don't really need to mess with it. We probably need to do some work on the guide, but other than that, it's dialed.
Yeah.
And Andy or Jeff's car, we came down here and did some R&D on it post race, and then he brought it over to me at the race, and he's like, I don't know, it's just not working quite right. I think we're going to race the M car. And I said, well, let me see it. I looked at it, and there was just what really came from the R&D was dampening that pod. you had to be able to run the pod, loose, but you had to dampen the pod. And so I put some tape on the car, and he was like, boom, it's perfect. So they wanted to race it. I think the biggest problem was the braid on the car ultimately gave out because the track was just really rough on braid, and
Yeah.
we decided to run the NSR 10 braid, which is what we ran over in Italy, and it's a great braid for endurance racing. It's just the track. If the track isn't perfect, some of those segments or sections of track where they go together, they can be like knives on that braid. And
Right.
so there were just a couple of sections. There was a little issue with track power at some point during the race, which we can talk about next week or whatever.
Yeah.
They had to take the track apart, put it back together real quick. And it's possible when it went back together, real quick, just something wasn't right. And could have been one of the lanes or two of the
Right.
lanes or whatever, but it doesn't take much to start chipping away at the braid. So, it's kind of like the heartbeat of the car, right? The wheels and tires are like the key, but the braid puts the power to the car. If you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely had great cars. Yeah.
So, Joe, what was it like driving that car around the track?
Oh, that was a good car that Steve had. I did tell him that, if you put a car in my hands, I'll go. And he did. The track was good. You get used to it, and, you find the flow of the track, but, you got to have the car under you. And that's exactly what it was. It was hooked up. There was
Yeah.
no nothing else I don't think there's anything else we could have done to the car to make it better. It was is the best it was going to be. And it was a solid car all day. That
Yeah.
was the biggest part.
It definitely was from start to finish, where other people were struggling with some cars that faded a little bit. That car never faded, man. It was great all day long. So when I was running the red lane, Joe was running the white lane, and he was so stinking fast. He kept passing me over and over again. I was like, it was so fun to be beside you because you couldn't wipe the smile off your face because you were just having a blast. But I was like,
oh yeah, man, Joe
slow
was
down,
loving
bro.
it. He was loving it. I'm telling you, he's rock solid. I had no idea he was going to be such an amazing driver. Because, like I said, like he's always struggled with with tough cars, right? And he's money.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good time. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Steve, you and I've had lots of conversations offline about the hobby of slot cars and racing, especially the racing side of it, and we've thrown a lot of ideas at each other. What is this Scale Auto endurance event? I kind of feel like it's a springboard for bigger things here on this side of the map. What are some of your thoughts on that? Like from this race, what did you gather that we could take to the next level?
Well, I think first of all, I'd love to. Well, first of all, TD slot sport. I don't know if a lot of people understand that or know where that came from, or if they didn't know that I was part of that or created it or whatever. But it all came from nationals, 2004 Eastern Nationals, and I think Daniel Ortiz, which was on your team, who's an awesome guy, came up to me after qualifying, and I was like top qualifier there, and he looked at me and he's like, now what? And I was like, total domination. And I kind of said it jokingly, and then he just like went crazy with it. So anyway, that's what TD stands for. And it's a joke amongst all of us on the endurance teams, and became kind of a nickname for me and whatever else. But I mean, it's really, TD slot sport is really about helping people get into no magnet racing and taking the magnets out of their cars, and me being willing to help anyone or answer any questions, or uh, help people build cars or understand the theory behind building cars and how you drive them and braking zones and driving them and just all the things that keep people from the hobby. And it's super important to me to keep this hobby going. And there's a lot of people. One of our good friends, Jim, passed away not too long ago, and I just met Jim, and he's in his 60s or whatever. And a lot of the guys that are in this hobby that I've met over the past 3 years are some of my best friends, and that includes you and Joe and all these guys. And I just want more people to experience the excitement of that car coming down the straightaway and into that braking zone. And man, those hypercars are just so big and powerful. It's like they thundered down into that braking zone, and it was just so exhilarating. And you just don't realize uh, what that's like unless you're there doing it. And
Right.
so anyway, that's what TD is all about. And I want everybody to know that we're all here as an open door for any questions or whatever you might need. We all have talents, and I want to share mine, whether it's building cars or driving or the theory behind it. And Kurt DeMars, who was on our team and is an amazing guy, amazing driver. He's kind of my, sensei or whatever you want to say. He taught me everything that he knew because, when I was at the first nationals that I went to in 2003, I got smoked, and he was the man. And, the only thing I wanted to do was just, get to know him, understand what he was doing, understand how to make the cars right. And he and I literally talked on the phone when I would be driving to Cincy slots on race night on Thursdays. We talked the whole way, and the whole way back, he'd call me, "Did you win? Did you win?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I won, or I came in second or whatever." But he was just constantly pushing me to be the best that I could be. And I've been an athlete all my life, and I've been um, in competition from tennis to golf to baseball to racing real cars to you name it, I've done it, raced it, whatever. Been super lucky in my life, and I found slot car racing after I hurt my back real bad, and I was a masters athlete, and I couldn't do it anymore, and I still had that competitive edge, or just needed that competitive itch scratched, and strangely enough, I'm just rolling through the internet, and I've always loved slot car racing since I was a little kid. And I saw an NSR um, 91710, and I was like, "Whoa, that is a super cool car!" I just bought it. I literally bought it just to look at it, put it on my desk at work, and just look at it. And then, like, I started figuring out, wow, and maybe I should start getting back into it. And that's how I found Cincy Slots and
Yeah.
you and I both kind of broke into the sport at the same time. And
Yep.
man, we've had a blast together. I can't tell
For
you
sure.
how fun it's been, and just all the great people. And man, I'll tell you, it brings a tear to my eye. It really is special. But I want everybody, especially out west, and all the clubs that listen to this pod or live stream, or whatever your show, to consider endurance racing and getting into it. And it's just a great opportunity to come together with a bunch of good guys and have some fun. Yeah, it's intense. I'm intense. I get intense. I know I can be a little over the top sometimes, and maybe that turns people on, maybe it turns people off. I don't know, but every time I get on the track, man, I want to win, and I want to have the people around me win. And it's a big commitment. It takes a ton of time, and I'm okay with that. It's not just walking in someplace and, boom, it happens. You really got to fight for it sometimes. And you got to have guys around you that support you and believe in you. And, Dickie Pearson is, I ran that black lane, the first stint of the race, and just pretty much killed it. Felt really good about it. And, I get back to the pits, and the first person that sent me a text to congratulate me was Dickie. And in Europe, he was just lights out, man. He's one of my heroes, and for him to give me some accolades was really, really made me feel good.
Yeah, man. I think one of the cool things, maybe not everybody is into racing their slot car. They just enjoy it at home. But
sure,
and there's nothing wrong with that at all. But what I've found is everyone deserves to find their people, right? Like they deserve to have friends. They deserve to find their people. And it's been cool to find my people in the hobby. But I mean, I think about Joe. Joe, you drove 8 hours to get to that race.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. I mean, the biggest thing is I gotta say is, like, racing with Steve and you, Marty, and I mean, just knowing Greg and Steve Howie. I mean, the list of names with these guys from Ohio, Michigan, and Kentucky. I mean, I traveled 8 hours for it, and it was
one from Kentucky.
one person from Kentucky.
That's all they would allow.
I mean,
right.
Yeah. But the thing is that I traveled 8.5 hours for it, and it was a blast. I mean, we had the Airbnb. It's funny because I think, Marty, you and I talked about it. I think when you got me to interview at the race, you know, I feel like I've known everybody for like 20 years.
Right.
It's a great group of people. It's worth the trip. I mean, I talked to Greg a lot. I talked to Steve. I mean, me and both Steves, and and whatnot. And it's like, you just show up. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it? Just talked to you yesterday, but it's like they're there all the time. I was very fortunate. I started racing in Horseheads with the Slot Car Club of the Twin Tiers, and it was like a big welcoming family when I walked in. I'd never raced a slot car in my life. I had the little loop-to-loop set that I try to launch it out and hit the wall with, the little cars, HO cars. I had no clue about this stuff. And then, oh, here, try this car or try that car. And it was a good group of guys. I mean, the Dave Van Duzer runs the shop, and there was Dave Hendrickson, Ryan and Kevin Hendrickson, and they were a big part of me learning how to set up a car, how to build a car. I mean, I was a mid-pack racer, and that's where I was kind of settling in and just trying to figure out a way to get better and better and better. But going from that to the 24 was an eye opener. I mean, that was something that I never thought I'd experience or see. And then to meeting, our first year, Greg and Steve Howie helped us out immensely. We had a Skeletric car with a 3D chassis, and my buddy Scott from Ohio, or no, I'm sorry, geez, not Ohio, from Pennsylvania. Scott, sorry, Scott. Um, we did it because we were kind of sponsored through Skeletric, so we were trying to figure things out, and these guys came over and helped us. And that was when I met Greg. That's when I met Steve, and then it started spiraling from there. And now I've met Kentucky Steve, you, Marty, your brother Dusty. I mean, Jeff is on our team for the 24. It's an incredible group, and I mean, we've talked about it, and we've said a lot of things that the R&D, the dedication. I mean, and then to race with somebody like Kurt, Steve, you too. I mean, there's guys that I'm racing with that you sit there and you just watch, and you try to learn and you try to pick up what you can. But that's the biggest part. I mean, it's worth. I always say it's worth it, the trip out, just to get better
Yeah.
and better. And now you're, racing on a national level is a huge change for me, especially coming from a little club near Watkins Glen, and there was a group of guys that I raced with down in towards Binghamton. They were a good group of guys, and they were like hobbyists into it. It was a basement series, and stuff, and you just start learning and you try to race. But coming out there, it's worth it. I mean, to meet all you guys, and it's a blast. And I can't thank you guys enough too for it's like it's like family.
Yeah.
Just to come in and just here you are. You're hanging out with all your friends in a house.
Yeah.
Granted, there was a lot of weird things about the house.
Yeah.
Leave it there. We'll just leave it there.
Let's not go into that. Okay,
that's
not
for
go into
No.
episode 2 next week. We'll talk about
right. We'll
talk about the
that'll
toilet
be a
paper.
big part of that.
We'll talk about toilet
Yeah,
paper.
but
we'll talk about.
I wasn't gonna, Marty. I wasn't gonna bring it up. You did.
No.
It's a teaser for next week to tune in.
Yeah. So,
that's great.
But I mean, the biggest part too is like I go to these races, and Mike Stott and I mean Oliver put on an incredible
Fantastic.
race.
Absolutely.
When we go to and then
cheers
the
those
funniest guys. And the funny part is when I started doing this before when I met my wife, this is early on, she asked me, she goes, "Why do you go to Michigan?" I said, "I'm going to go race plastic toy cars in a basement of some man's house that I don't know." But I mean, we go to his house and he puts on an incredible event. And even the Nats last year, I mean, so you go out and you meet all these people, and then you meet the groups that are from from like Michigan and stuff, and you're just meeting new people all the time, so it's definitely fun.
Yeah,
It's great because it's a different group of people than I see all the time in horse heads and stuff. So
yeah, I think that I'm just proud of you guys. You guys handled it great. You had a great game plan going in, and you just went out and made laps, and it was awesome to see. Yep, there you go, first place, baby. Well done.
I'm trying to get it in there.
Here you go.
There we go. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah,
awesome
you got to cover up the moneymaker, Steve. That's how it gets. So, guys, thanks for jumping in. Next week we will dive into lots of detail. I just wanted to. We didn't get a chance to interview during the live stream at the race. Once the trophy ceremony happened, everything kind of fell apart real quick, and people scattered like mice. And I felt bad about that all weekend. And Steve and I had a conversation this morning. I was like, "Well, why don't you guys, some of you, jump on tonight, and we'll do the interview then, and congratulate you, and it'll give us a chance to celebrate your team, and you deserve it. You guys were awesome. Congrats, man." But
thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Marty.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you loose though. So we got things to do. I've got a big announcement.
Right on,
at 9 o'clock. Well, you guys can hang out. I mean, it doesn't matter. But at 9 o'clock, I usually give the super tires away. But I've got an announcement first. So Pamela called me last week and said, "Hey, I'm sending you a car to give away for our last time," because we only talked about doing these giveaways through September. And she's like, "I want to do something special for the last live stream." And so she sent me one of the new Revoslot RX7s to give away.
Awesome.
I've got one of them here, and I haven't opened it up yet, so I pull it out of the box, but so we can get an idea. But the RX7 is pretty popular. There were a lot of people online excited about it, and she has the new tires made for it. So let's see what this bad boy looks like. But she has one that she'll be giving away, and I think it's the green livery.
Ooh.
Yeah. Check that out.
Awesome.
And
very nice.
So yeah.
Am I in the running for that, Marty, or am I?
Oh yeah,
not?
you qualify, man.
All right, that's
good.
There's
a
like
chance. That. But I'm gonna have Pamela on next week. She wasn't able to do it tonight, but next week she's gonna come on for a few minutes and do the giveaway. And I'm gonna give her a second to just thank everybody. But I think it's been a great experience. Coordinating or collaborating with me and the channel. And I think that the response that you guys have given Super Tires, I think it's been great. I hope it has for them. But she's excited about giving this car away, and I'm excited to help her do that. And then we'll give some tires away too. So, but guys, man, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. We'll have you back on next week, and I'm sure we'll talk in the group chat. People don't realize we have this giant.
Absolutely.
We have this giant.
I'm telling you,
chat.
that group chat is like the hottest slot car chat going.
It's fantastic. I will be at work and I'll go to lunch and there'll be like 800 missed messages. Like, it's crazy. I wake up, I get out of bed, and there's like 100 messages waiting for me to read through, and I'm like scrolling through all this. It's nuts. But we fixed a lot of slot car issues for this race through that group chat.
Yeah,
shared a lot of research, and that's what blew me away about the whole experience, was like the dedication that we saw from everyone, but you and Steve and Greg, and your ability to just break a car down and make it better, just doing the little things. I'm just really super impressed. You guys attempted and tried things that didn't even come to my mind until you talked about it, and I learned so much through this whole process. So, and that's probably been the most valuable thing for me, is what I learned. Not finishing second, and that was just what I learned about tuning a car through this whole thing has been great. So, guys, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Marty.
We'll catch up soon.
Thanks,
see you,
Marty.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.
Bye. Well, guys, there is TD Slot Sport. We do think it's a sport. Steve and I talk about that a lot. Like, it's a hobby, but the racing side of it is just like anything else. It's competitive. It's fun. It can be intense, but man, what a great group this past weekend just made for a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'm going to go back and I'm going to search for the questions and make sure that we answer them all. Yeah, John says, why is it still in the box? I haven't made the decision yet, guys. Did all the teams run the same braid? This was the one I wanted to get back to. No, I don't. I think, John, the rules allowed for you to use whatever braid you wanted. But Dusty made a comment earlier during that, when the guys were on, about people using braid juice, and braid juice was causing a problem on the rails. It was starting to build up and get kind of gummy. And we didn't have that problem because people weren't doing that in practice. But when the race came, that was happening, and it was creating some issues on the track. So, and like you said, John, it can cause the braid to break down if you use too much. I think you need to use it sparingly. But we were starting to see it, you could see it dripping on the track. And so it was a mess. Steve says, Slot Car Corner braid juice is the most popular products. They can't keep enough of it. I have the Voodoo, and like John said, it is solvent based. I use it so sparingly. I just use it to clean my braids. I don't load my braids up with it. I really don't see a big difference, but I see a difference in a clean braid. But you'd pull the car off and the braids would be black. And I just think that was just the buildup of that on the track. B-Rad says he makes his own braid juice, no gumming up. Yep. Yeah, Voodoo is solvent-based. Endurance Racing did a 6-hour last month, and we have another 6-hour at Motown next month. Yeah, Jim, man, I tried to figure out how to get out there, Jim. That would have been fun to be a part of that. If you overly wet the braids pick up more track gunk. Yeah, I think that's what we were discovering. People were having problems having to pull a car and mess with the braids. They were losing power in certain sections of the track. I have an indoor cat, so I clean cat hair off my braids often. Yeah, no surprise. I get cobwebs down here in the basement. Racing with Dickie Pearson once a month is an honor and a clinic. Yeah, he is a super nice man. He was in the chat, in and out all day long, watching the race. Daryl, I run with Marty and Steven and Dusty, and with all their wins, I probably won't be allowed in the same heats. Whatever, Daryl, you and I share the spiritual gift of self-deprecation. Good stuff. I'm glad Steve explained the TD, the total domination. it was part of the sense of humor. Daniel, his answer to Daniel's question. And I love that story. And we just kind of ran with it. And, that's what happens when guys get together. They have their inside jokes and they do things. And so there was some sarcasm to that. But it really is kind of a mindset that Steve has adopted of, hey, if I'm going to do this, I might as well try to dominate the thing. And, and it works sometimes. And sometimes you have you struggle with the car. And, but I will tell you that these guys will never give up. They always work harder for the next time. You'll always see improvements. One of the things I learned this weekend, Greg and I haven't talked about this, but the previous endurance racing that I had done, I broke the cars. And I think I have finally learned how to protect a car. I got into a few on-track crashes that were caused by people flying into a turn and taking you out, getting nerfed by somebody. But I had very few outs I felt like were outs that were my fault, that were out of control, right? I felt like I protected the car, but still tried to put in fast laps. And I think that's one of the things I learned this weekend is I can protect a car. I can be fast, be solid, put laps in, which made it a lot of fun. Hey, Bryce. Yeah, you're talking about the car. How awesome is that from Pamela? So shout out to Pamela. We'll be giving that away. It's 9:07. I need to give the tires away before the night gets away from us. Hey, Jannard, awesome RX7. Yes. Pretty excited about that. And you'll be getting super tires with it too. So whoever wins the car, we'll give that away next week. But this week we still have to give away some super tires. So let's let me drop the names in from the live chat. Jen, are you trying to find some action in the DMV? You're looking for Slot Car Club or something? Welcome to my house for pet fur. Nice. All right. Hey, Rerun. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Let's see. What? Copy, paste. If Gladstone is in, we didn't hear from you last week, Gladstone. If you're in the chat, you were one of last week's winners. Pamela said she tried to reach out to you, but didn't get anything back. So if you want to reach out to me, let me know if you hear this, if you're in the chat. But if not, we'll actually give away 2 tonight. All right. Our first winner is, let me hit random. Let's see what pops up. Hillbilly Slot Cars. You are a winner of Super Tires from Pamela at Super Tires. Reach out to me. I'll put my email address. Oops. So send me your address and what 3 cars you would like Super Tires for. There you go. My email is in the chat. And reach out to me, give me your information, and we'll get that to you. So congratulations, Hillbilly Slot Cars. All right. And we'll give away one more. And random. Randomize. Why is it not popping up? Okay. Here we go. Okay. This program crashed. Hold on. Let me restart it. Where's the Jeopardy theme when we need it? Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Thomas Sanders. Hey, Thomas. How are you, man? Hopefully you're still in the chat. Send me an email with your information. Thomas was helped me a lot when I was building the lap timing system and using the Arduino for the first time. So congratulations, guys. You are tonight's winners of Super Tires. Send me your address or just hit me with your email, and I can forward that on to Pamela, and you can let her know what tires you would like. So good stuff. So guys, let's take a look at the RX7. I don't know how many of you have ordered this car yet. Since I've got one here, let's take a look at it. Get your thoughts on it. This is the AMSOIL. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I kind of like this livery better than the other two original, the first releases. I know it's a white livery, Daryl. You probably don't love it, but they're all three are white. I have 5 long-haired German Shepherd dogs. We don't have dust bunnies. We have ghost dogs. That's funny. Hey, Murph man, welcome. Kurt, it was rigged. Next week we're giving away the car. So, but the car that we're giving away, I believe, is the green one. So that'll be the car that's given away next week. But nice car. And we know Revoslots. It'll be interesting to tear into one and get an idea of, if they've upped their game even more. I feel like every time I get a new Revoslot, AMSOIL. Thank you. That's what I thought. What class would the RX7 run in? Dusty, that's a good question. I would say that it's probably the start of a new class, maybe. John Albright sent me a picture where he had posted on Facebook of comparing the size of the RX7 to the Group 5 to the regular size, and it's kind of in between those. I have a feeling that they probably won't run against the Group 2 cars. Group 2, not Group 5. Kind of old school livery. Yeah, it is. It's a Revoslot. It's an RX7. Great cars. Yeah, no doubt. I'm excited about getting one and getting on the track and I've got tires for it. Pamela sent tires, so we'll do a video, an unboxing of that, and get it on the track. So Kurt says that this is a trophy, and so we don't run this. John says there are no trophies run faster straight out of the box. So I don't know. I can't decide. Can't decide. I do have another car, and I'm trying to decide what to do with it too. Haven't opened this one yet either, but this is a new NSR from my favorite class, the vintage class. And this is a Lola T280 in the orange pumpkin livery from the WRE. How cool is that? But this is is this a shelf queen? Do I Do I run this? Do I not? I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat. It's the GTU class. RX7 is a new class for Revoslot, which tells me that for that, they're going to treat that like they did the Group 2 cars, and we will probably see some additional cars. What else would run against that RX7, John? I'd be curious to see what else will be in that class. But hey, I'm up for a new class from Revoslot. The RX7 reminds me of the Porsche 944 with they would do with the 944 too. Gotcha. I'll have to check them out, John. GTU. So what else raced in the GTU? Right time of year for a pumpkin spice car, Marty. That's right. I mean, I guess, well, see, there is a warranty seal on the plastic. Does it lose value if I take the plastic off? Just so that we can look at the car? Can I get the sticker off without tearing the plastic? I mean, we all know what a Lola looks like, right? Oh, come on. Look at that. Now, I kind of feel guilty because I didn't go to the WRE. Do I really deserve to own one of these? Man, that's a good looking car. Sheesh. And I love the Lola. I have to tell you, I like the open that doesn't have the fenders in the back. I kind of like that better. Man, great looking car. But yeah, it's probably not going to see the light of day on the track, I'm afraid. And I hinted around at the beginning that I kind of have an announcement for the channel. I don't exactly know what it means at this point, but let's I need to grab a box. So this box, this is one of 4 boxes that I have in the back room. And it's all full of Polycar track. So I'm trying to make the decision, do I pull up the Carrera track and install Polycar? Now, you guys know that I love this layout right now. But I really want to try this Polycar track. I've been begging to get hold of some Polycar track for the last, gosh, 2.5 years. Right here in the live stream, I've like, hey, Polycar, hey, slot it. If you'd like to send me some track to test, I would love to. And I've seen lots of other channels receive Polycar starter sets, the little drift set, so they could test out the surface. Let me grab a piece of the track. This is definitely a different surface than the Carrera. This has definitely got a lot of grip. And so I'm really curious to build some kind of track out of this. So what are your thoughts? Do I switch over to Polycar? Do I create a smaller test track in the other room? Maybe throw a couple sheets of OSB board on top of the oval temporarily? Or do I go all in on Polycar? What are your thoughts? I love the Carrera track back here. I like how it's set up. I really don't want to do that. I guess I could build a track in the attic upstairs. I could take over the basement and the attic. So I don't know. I've got some decisions to make, but Two Lines now has a Polycar track. And I need to design a layout with all the pieces I have. And I've got quite a bit. I've got one of the large 4-lane starter set. The TZ4, the 004. And then I have 2 other boxes full of turns and straights and a bunch of extra track. So I should be able to build probably not a layout this big, but probably about a 60-foot layout, I'm guessing, 4-lane, if I wanted to. So let me know in the chat. What do you think? Hey, Jerry. Welcome. One you run and 2 collect will break you. Yeah, that's right. That's a big box. Open the box. Dusty, help him. Gary, what's in the box? Dwayne has the pink and the gray. The pink looks sweet. The box or what's behind the curtain? Yes. Install Polycar. It's the best system on the market, hands down. Thanks, Jake. That's good to hear. That's awesome. Try the Polycar. You can always go back. Yeah, Jerry, you're right. You can always go back. If you have really been wanting, then it sounds like you have what has to be done. You know what has to be done. Nothing beats Polycar. It's awesome how we all feel like kids again when one of us gets a new toy. That's right. Thanks, Hillbilly. Marty, let me know what you want for your career track. I'm guessing that urethane tires would work good on Polycar. Jerry, I think urethane rubber. I think the one tire that probably doesn't work as well would be silicone, because silicone likes a smooth track. But we'll test all of it. So maybe I'll put a little small, tiny track together just to do some tests on until I can figure out a design. But I'm kind of excited about it. Yeah, I don't recommend it, but you can run Polycar you can run Polycar in the rain, but I don't recommend it. Do at least a year track. Test track. Yep. How is the Polycar grip compared to Scale Auto? Craig, that's a great question. I would say the grip is similar, but I feel like the Polycar track is a little coarser. I don't know how to describe it. The Polycar track feels like it's got little teeth, and then the Scale Auto track feels more like sandpaper. And when you look at it up close, the pattern is very, very teeth-like. But the Scale Auto looks like sandpaper. And so I would say that they're very similar grip levels, though. So maybe I'd rank Polycar. I won't know until I try it, but I'd probably rank Polycar just a little more grip, more like Ninko, and then Scale Auto And then there's kind of a big gap between Scalato and Carrera and Scaly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's like Christmas every time. Yep, the box shows up. You do have the making now to start your own club with 3 tracks. Just need a venue. Nick. Ooh, if you only knew Nick. Push to pass. Attic for starters. Take it to the attic. You don't have to build something big, just a nice size layout. Thanks, Gary. You can add Carrera straights to stretch it out. This is true. I'm going to get Polycar. I started back at Carrera with my nephew. I couldn't get them hooked. Love to see me run some cars on a temporary Polycar layout. Yeah. Go with Polycar. It seems organized race events are using it, the grippier track surfaces. So, Craig, here's the one thing. The only race, I mean, if I went to Italy and ran the WRE, we'd be running on Polycar now. But there are no big races here in the States running Polycar. The Eastern Nationals and this Scalato event are the only ones that are running on Scalato here, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody's running a big race on Polycar, I would love to talk to them because I would like to get an idea of some design ideas from what they like about their setup. Yeah, Ben. Yeah, the Carrera is going to get better grip on the silicone. Silicone's like the smooth surface. Yep, no doubt. Yeah, if I'm on the Polycar, I was talking to John Albright. The Polycar, it will be rubber tire. Is what I would do. If I had a little taller ceiling, the fingers, I would think about that. Yeah, Craig, I'm sure. I do not think that silicones will work great. I think they'll be okay, but I don't think they will work great on the Polycar. Even stock tires can find grip on Polycar track. Polycar was designed to replace Ninko track in Europe, which was becoming increasingly difficult to find. Right. Yeah, so pretty excited about it. Got some Polycar track. Now, it's time to quit. I'm going to run a few laps with some cars, not very long. But the reason I want to get an idea about my camera angles and get your guys' opinion on whether the camera angles are okay. So check 1, 2. All right. So let me switch over to this scene. And we'll run a couple laps. One of the things I didn't talk about earlier is I did use the MK15. Oh, hey, you know what? You got to move the big ass box out of the way. Oh, that's funny. I did use the MK15 and felt like it was really good on that big scale auto track. Oops. Cloverleaf. How about that 6-hour poster? Looking good on the back wall. What I really felt like it handled the surface well. Oh gosh. I felt like I stayed in the slot a lot better than I'm doing right now. Oh, wow. Dirty tires. It was, I just really felt very comfortable with the MK15 pretty quick, to be honest with you. It came together. It was really very controllable. I stayed in the slot fairly well. I had some outs, but I made laps. That was really what I wanted to try to do, is just stay in as best I can, and I didn't have to set fast time, but well, yeah, this track has gotten dirty just over the weekend. I need to do something with the ceiling down here. As much as I like the beams being open, it's old hardwood floor above us, and anytime we run the sweeper and I get dust that just trickles down through the cracks in the boards, and I'd really like, I'd really like to put something to cover the track. If anybody's got any ideas, that'd be great. But I really appreciate Steve and Joe jumping on and talking about their team, and congratulate them on their win. Congratulations to Ian Douglas on getting the double over the weekend at the Canadian Nationals. Jim, you didn't say how you did at Motown for your race. Hopefully that went great. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. And what are your thoughts about the camera? I think I'm on the leaderboard a little too long, but it looks good on the screen, I think. But let's get to the next camera angle and see. But I think these cameras are doing a great job. I saw that George picked up a couple of these OBSBot cameras for his track, or both of his tracks. And that's pretty exciting that somebody else is finding that they work really good for this kind of action. I would love for OBSBot to reach out and maybe let me review a couple of the other bigger cameras that they have. So I plan on doing a review video of the cameras just so I can get it out there to maybe get their attention, because I could use another camera to test for the Nationals. I'm not saying that they give me one. I just, maybe they have a loaner I can use, because I think, for the hobby, if these cameras really work well, that it could be a camera, because of the cost, that a lot of guys get to cover their tracks. So there we go. We got some laps in there. We finally settled in. The track was starting to clean up. So guys, thanks for tuning in this week. I really appreciate it. It probably sounded wonky on air. And as always, let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the what else? Anthony, is the lane spacing the same? No. This is 132nd only. 124 is too big. Nothing hooks up on my surface universally as properly mounted, trued, glued like quick slicks. Not knowing much about it other than surface, what is the difference between the two? A DW, the lane spacing is a little tighter than Carrera. So it's 132nd only. Hey, Blue Water. Hey, great job, guys. I'm glad you had jitters. Yeah, Blue Water, I had jitters, man, my first heat, as always, but I kind of got past it. But way to hang in there. You guys, you finished the race and you toughed it out. So congrats. Glad you were there. You did an awesome job helping get everything set up. That first heat was tough, yes, on Thursday. Yeah. Hey, Fox and Wolves, welcome. Silver heat shield 4x8s for the ceiling. That might work, DJ. Patrick, I think I thought about just the sheet insulation like that too, and then paint it white so it reflects light really well, makes it easy. I think the camera view would be better if it was a bit higher. Rerun, it probably would be if I had the room. The ceiling's pretty low in here. It looks, it's a little deceiving on camera. I will put it up a little higher. I'm going to get it mounted as high as I can possibly get it and see if that changes. But I was in a hurry tonight, but I will work on that. Thanks. Appreciate the feedback. Fast call. I use a light plastic painting drop cloth to cover the track at dark night. Okay. Marty, the poster from Saturday's race. Yeah, it looks pretty sweet on the back. What on it? Love the top view camera. Oh, you were saying the close-up shot would be a little better. Okay. I need to go back and watch the footage so I can see it. Guys, appreciate you tuning in. Maybe staple the construction plastic to the joist above the track to catch the dust. Craig, that's a good idea. I thought about that. I thought about it. I've got a little drop cloth up there. Maybe I thought about putting another drop cloth. But like most of them are either black or blue. And I was afraid that the black might make it too dark down here. Jim finished second in the Corvette race, first in the non-teenage class. Does that mean Braden beat you? Is that what you in the Corvette race? That's funny. Guys, man, I appreciate it. This has been great. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to let you go. Go have some fun racing.